Well, the influence of the A-League is certainly spreading far and wide. The latest stop, the slums of Bangkok, where a Melbourne Victory fan is making a huge difference.
Bangkok's an exciting place. It's a city with huge energy and enormous appeal. It's also a destination that's very familiar to many Australians. But there's a relatively unknown Australian working in an unfamiliar part of town. Melbourne Victory fan Ash Barker is on a mission, and two of the tools of his trade are football and food. I'm on a mission to find Ash in the Klong Toi slum. Football takes you to some very, very interesting places.
Welcome to Klong Toi.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks,
like the shirt, by the way. Nice. Klong Toi slum, what are the numbers? What are we talking about?
So we're talking about 100,000 people, 2 square kilometres, and we have no protection from the law in terms of land rights. The bulldozers could come in tomorrow and bulldoze us all down. The community's been here over 50 years. In slums, the only way transformation is going to happen is from the grassroots. It's from the bottom up. Bureaucrats, politicians, they don't get what's going on here. So these guys have to be the leaders of this slum in the future. We'd love it to just not be a slum and squatter neighbourhood, but just be a wonderful neighbourhood. And I reckon some of these kids are going to help see that happen.
Decreased amount of public space for people to play made the Brazilians invent futsal. And the Thais have taken to it like the duck to water. You know, for all the difficulties of the underprivileged, most of the good players in the world come from similar backgrounds, and this is the form of football which makes them so good. We're not in Rio de Janeiro or some part of Africa, but the conditions are the same, and the technique and the skill is certainly the same, because there's no space, their touch has to be good. Forever spending my life chasing after a ball. Well done. Much to our shame, many of our Indigenous communities have similar deprivation, but if you're just an Australian kid, the Australian experience is just so vastly different from what these kids live every day and how they play every day.
It's been a common thread, actually. When I was working in Melbourne for 10 years, I was working among refugees and asylum seekers and with these Timorese, and it was one of the things that quick point of contact, had something in common. We spoke the same language of sport, even if we didn't have the same cultural backgrounds.
Two of the things that you're using to advance your message, to get people together, two of the things that are most common to all people in the world.
Yep.
And you're the common link between two of them, football and food. And there's another story here as well about Pooh.
Yes. Well, Pooh was one of our neighbours, and she was a brilliant cook. But when the food prices went up, hardly anybody could afford to eat. And so she would be cooking food but losing money. And so we helped to get a cooking school together, teach people how to cook, nutritious meals, classical Thai meals as well. And she does that for tourists. It's an income generation. That is what Pooh has done, is help other people start small businesses like she has. Two of her boys play, and they're some of the fittest and healthiest kids we have.
So if you're Ash Barker and you're sitting back, you're a Melbourne Victory fan, and your home and your roots are Australia, which is a million miles from the experience of Klong Toi.
Yes.
And you start this process of getting kids playing football, empowering locals to commercialise their talent and feed themselves and others better, and hopefully both of these things come together in the end.
Yes, they do.
You've changed the world.
Yeah, one slum at a time.
You talk about great stories in football, there's one of them right there.
Oh, absolutely brilliant. I mean, sensational story.
Andy Harper there on location in Bangkok. All right, we are off to a quick break here at AAMI Park. They say it's all about looking to the future. Marco Rojas, one of the best, youngest and brightest, getting advice from none other than Harry Kewell. Stay with us.